All right, here we are with another version of NPC Chat. We're completely experimental. We have no idea what we're doing, so we put the mental in experimental. But I'm here with three random guests, just like normal, because why not? So we're going to kind of go like Brady Bunch like this. Now, I hope that you guys are set up in the same way. And what we like to do is we like to introduce each of the people that you're going to get to meet so that they can say hi. Some people are fans, some people are creators. You know, tell us all about yourself. And while you do that, I'm going to hijack you and put up like compromising pictures of you. So, David, say to everybody where you're from. And I've got juice on you, man. I know you sent me compromising pictures. We're about to see them. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from just outside of Orlando, Florida. My name is David Puente. For the last 13, 14 years, have filmed and video edited professional wrestling, mostly doing smaller independent things, a couple of big opportunities here and there. So forgive me for my uninteresting background other than the stars. That's all I had. But stopped doing that. I now have a full-time job working at a financial planning firm. Small firm, kind of very independently owned, and it's been paying the bills, and it allows me to still do some of the traveling for wrestling. And I came here just as a fan, mostly of Paul's, but I'm excited to be a part of this thing that we all get a chance to connect to one another, and I think it's a really awesome thing.
How you doing with how you doing with your like work and everything like that? Like, how's this affecting you so far? Because are you good? Are you still in employment, all that kind of stuff?
I'm not affected whatsoever. My job has remained the same. Everything has been the exact same. Florida hasn't exactly taken this whole thing too seriously, and I admit I was part of it, but I was fearful of what would happen to local businesses, restaurants, servers, who, as soon as once the NBA shut down, I had a feeling everything was kind of going to come. And we were supposed to do WrestleMania week, which is a big thing for a lot of smaller independent companies. They follow WrestleMania wherever they go, and a lot of wrestlers on not that big of a platform are losing opportunities for work, and friends of mine are being laid off. So that's the worst part of how I'm affected, because me personally has been fine. So it's weird. Yeah, it's just sad, and I'm just doing the best I can to support anyone I can when I can.
Well, that's what this is all about. We like chatting to people. It's great to make your acquaintance, David. You know, I've got all these people around that sort of know what I do, and I figure we'll bring them all together, and everyone can feel like they're a bit more connected, because half the people are locked up. You know, there's all kinds of people that are scared about what's going on. So let's get into this. Here you go. We've found compromising pictures that you sent of yourself.
Yeah.
How old were you in this picture?
I would have been 17 years old.
And the hair, my God.
It got longer than that. I let it grow until I was about 23, and then in a very emo move, I decided to change a part of who I was, and that was a big part. I was like, well, this is it, and it was a big part of me. I was thinking about going to acting school, and they asked me if I would cut my hair for a role, and I said no, and I didn't go to the acting school, and it took a big kind of relationship thing to be like, all right, let's just start from scratch. So I shaved the head, shaved my face, got contacts, and nobody recognized me. It was awesome.
This is great. Like, you just suddenly became a different person. You're like the chameleon from Spider-Man.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Nobody, like, I could walk by people, like I could walk the mall uninterrupted. Nobody would know who I was. It was
because before presumably they were just mobbing you, and now you could actually be left alone, right?
I mean, in a weird way, yeah. Like, random people would come up to me, and I would be concerned, like, how they knew me, and I couldn't remember how I'd met them. So it was kind of, I mean, because you stand out when you look like that. People recognize you.
Yeah, I've had that situation. I used to live in Northampton, Massachusetts, and everyone remembered the guy who did Ninja Turtles, who had the British accent. So people go, "Hey, Paul, how you doing?" I'd be like, "Hey, you."
Yeah.
Like, hey, how you going? Give me your name. You know. All right, let's go through this. We got a little bit more over here. This is a picture of.
This is a picture of Levi. Levi, not to bring in sad news, but he just passed recently.
Oh.
My family is a bit scattered, and my family who lives in Louisiana, they put together a thing called Dogcation after my grandmother passed. We had a nice vacation together, and a couple of years later, they said, let's keep it going. And so they used it as inspiration for the dog, and they would find different vacation homes, mostly in Florida, that we could meet up halfway. And we got to spend a lot of time together, because normally I wouldn't take the time to go see them. I wouldn't lose everybody. Here we go. I wouldn't take the time to go see them. So it was a nice excuse to take a week off, see them. And this guy was the reason for all of it. And he was a wonderful puppy, and definitely much needed in times where work had me stressed out, and I would just get to spend a week at the beach cuddling a dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you lost him. Like it's something that I often see with my friends, and I've been through it myself. And I feel like when you make the decision to have a pet, then you know that you are making an obligation to them to see them out as well. You know, so tonight, nominally or loosely, we're going to talk about pets as well, which is kind of the point, and do some animal stuff. Got a little bit more right here. Here's this one.
That's Mimi, Rottweiler. She belonged to my sister, and yeah, she was just an incredible dog. I could get her to take treats out of my mouth without excitedly attacking me.
Without biting a piece of your lip like they often do.
Yeah. Oh, she was so gentle. It was easy, and she would just very gently grab it. And one of the sweetest dogs. And if you were shouting, she would jump in front of you and make sure that you weren't, that nothing was going to happen. Hey, she was there to break everything up. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pet.
Yeah, and then this one,
Spreckles. Spreckles. This cat was a conundrum. She we would have Christmas trees, and all the cats would, of course, mess with them, and we would take a spray bottle, take them to the cats, and it would prevent most of them, but not Spreckles. She would kind of look at you and say, "Is that it? All right," and just keep going. And she would lay in the sink, turn the faucet on, and just take a bath, just kind of unimpressed with whatever you had to do in your life.
So a cat that was a conundrum. Imagine that. You mean a cat that was really mysterious and weird? Yeah.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
She was great. She was great.
All right, moving along. So let's say hi to Steve Jepson, who I actually know and have known from before here. So Steve, oh, wait a minute. Look at this. We've got something from a blast from the past right here. Where are you in this, Steve?
Okay, I'm the grinning idiot on the far end. Yeah, this is back in, oh, geez, I'm probably, considering the age of my sister, who's in the middle, I'm probably 8 or 9. My brother Paul had died about 3 years ago, and he was 2 years older than me. And that's basically the general look that my dad would give me at anything. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So here's sort of like you now. There you go. Look at that. That was your favorite. You like that picture of you, didn't you? You sort of like, here we go.
I like that picture partially because it was a fun time back then. I was, oh geez, that's back in 03, 04, 03. I'm working on a cruise ship, and this is the Port of St. Lucia in Dominica, and just watching us come into port, and it was a real fun time.
Now tell everybody how you and I know each other, because we kind of met so peripherally through a project. So
yeah, so Paul. So I had gotten into the independent fan series Axanar as Admiral Conrad Slater. This is a Star Trek fan series, and my character appeared for about 4 seconds in Prelude to Axanar. Didn't say a single word, and all you saw was a picture of me. And for some strange reason, my character has developed this cult following through people who like Axanar. Paul was asked to come on and do the last 2 episodes of Axanar of the 4 Years' War. And Paul and I met at Axicon in Atlanta, and I think that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, back when there were no zombies.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when there was no zombie apocalypse, unless you saw it on the movie screen. But it was really funny. I was sitting watching a football game, and somebody said, "You need to go interview Paul Jenkins," and I had absolutely no idea who Paul was. And somebody said, "He's the director of the next show." I went, "Oh crap!" So we basically just met each other and learned about each other by this interview, and that's where we are.
Yeah, we hit it off pretty well, and tell everyone a little bit. So you're an actor, you're a voice coach, you do all kinds of different stuff, right, Steve?
Yeah, mostly I am a singer and a voice teacher. I work at the University of Missouri in Columbia, and I've been on the stage for about started in 1986. So I've been a professional singer and actor since then. Done some commercial work, done some TV and movie work, but right now the majority of my life is teaching. And this whole thing has been really, really interesting for us because they, as soon as it started getting big in the world, we first got our first case in Boone County. That's where Columbia is, and then they said we're going to shut down the school. So they shut down the school for 2 days. And this was just a week before spring break. And then the edicts started coming out pretty fast. And it was, we're going to have to close the school, not allow anybody on campus until after Easter. And then all personal schooling is going to be done with. So everything is now going to be done through Zoom, which is our default online conferencing thing. So all of us people who teach applied music, and that's anything from instrument to voice, are going to have to learn how to do lessons remotely off of Zoom. So I have 18 students at Mizzou, and we're going to have to do it all through video conferencing.
Hey, quick tip for everybody, by the way, Steve. Is Zoom the one that we find actually works best for everybody? Because this might actually be worth a tip for anyone that's like watching or watches us. And hi to everybody that watches us after the live stream. Is there a tip in all of this, which is maybe one that you can do it in real time?
There is a tip in real time. So of the three that we've been that have been recommended to us, there is one called voicelessons.com, which is specifically for voice lessons, but you are required to pay for it. And our university is going, no. Then there's Zoom, and then there's Skype. And then if everybody is on iOS, you could do FaceTime. But with Zoom, if you go into the settings menu and go into audio, ask to go to original audio, and what it does is it takes out all the sound compression. So there's not as much feedback and there's not as much lag.
So and better, right? Awesome.
Yeah. And a lot of people have found that really, really helpful.
Okay, that's a good one to know. Got a couple of, because we're doing pets today, got a couple of little, here you go, here's some fluff ball. Who's that?
Yeah, that is Xander. Xander's just a mess. I met him at a PetSmart. He is a rescue cat, and he was like 4 weeks old, and I thought he was really cute, and I took him over to the cat trees, and I was just playing with him. I had my face up in front of him, and he bit me, and I went, okay, he's mine. This is at better days. Xander is probably about maybe a quarter of this size, or maybe 3/4 this size. I'm showing it to my wife. Maybe about half this size. Xander has a thyroid issue, so he has to have. He has lost weight, but he's still as ornery as ever, and but he's a great little cat.
That's cool, and there you go, right?
And this is Willow, and this is just a perfect picture because, first of all, it's a box, and you can buy anything for cat. You can buy anything for cats, and you buy them the greatest thing in the world, and all they want is the box. but having a box that says perishable on it with a cat in it just makes perfect sense.
Because cats are genius, you know.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, cats are like that. They are. Sorry, I think I lost our share here. There she is, Willow. All right.
Yep.
So let's say hi to Joe. And Joe, we should say, like, you know, why don't you tell everyone kind of how you and I met and what we had been doing for a while. Let's bring up some pictures of Joe. All right. In a minute. Here we go. There's the fam, right?
Yeah, we don't have a pet anymore, so I just threw some pictures of the kids out to you. Yeah, so Paul and I met probably back in 2014, maybe. I supported a Kickstarter you did for Fairy Quest and got a chance to spend a weekend with you at Chicago at C2E2. And it was a cool experience, man. Just to spend a weekend, get some insight from you. Gave me a lot of confidence. I do on the side, I'm illustrating and writing comic books, graphic novels, and that kind of stuff. So Paul really gave me the push I kind of needed to really test it out instead of just playing around with it. So then we just kind of had some interactions the last couple of years after that, but really motivated me to kind of take that step forward and work on some of that stuff. So, and if you guys haven't had a chance to spend time with him, and he's got the most incredible stories. He knows everybody. We couldn't turn anywhere without him knowing everyone. So it was a pretty awesome weekend. It was an amazing weekend.
Well, the big thing for me, Joe, is that it didn't end just because you came for the weekend. That didn't end, right? I will always follow what you do and how you're like how your art is developing and all that kind of stuff. I think it's really important to walk the walk and not just kind of say something. And so I've followed up with you. I've been watching your progress. I think your artistic progress is great. I gave you a hard time and made you draw stuff and told you you have to make it and you can't leave it sitting there. So I've been a bit of a bastard to you, to be quite honest. But that's all done with love, you know. We want to make you move forward. These are the kids, right?
Yeah, these are our kids. So my kids, Halloween's big for us. We made my son's scorpion costume and we made some of the parts of my daughter's costume too. So yeah, since we don't have pictures of my dog to share some of the kind of crazy stuff we do. So yeah, it's kind of a fun time of year for us.
And where are you guys at, by the way? Where do you live?
We're in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, right?
So,
okay.
yeah, we're up in Ohio.
Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah. The troublemaker. So, or my siblings call me the golden child because I got away with everything when I was a kid.
That's really cool. So, you know, we've known each other for a little bit, and I've really cared very much about your career. And I see that you are putting out a bunch of stuff all the time, which I think is really amazing, man. You're still working hard. You can, if you want to, email me and or sort of like messenger me some of your art. I'd love to show it here, actually. So if you want to message me and as we're talking, send it to me in Facebook Messenger. I think we're connected there, and I'll put some of it up on screen so people can see some of your latest stuff, which is really cool. Like, I've been watching what you've been doing. It's really good.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me see if I can get a Messenger because I'm on my phone. Can I email it to you? Would that work?
Well, you can email it to me. That's fine. Yeah, send it to me via email, and I will grab it and put it in, and then everybody gets to see what Joe's been working on.
I appreciate it.
One other person that's going to show up in just a little bit, which is cool. But at the moment, I am going to show you guys a picture of. So I've got my own animals, right? We're getting onto this. I've got my own animals. This is my guy. This is Claudius, right? He is. It's his world and we live in it. I do have 4 animals, and clearly I favor Claudius. He gets all the screen time. Claw's like Claudius, right? He's a big character. I love him very much. He's my guy, and basically I spend a lot of time with him, and he's an absolute bastard. You know, basically it's sort of like what he wants. But I will tell you that there's a part of me that goes like, you know, this is him right now. He's everybody's mate, and given that he's our CEO's boyfriend, our CEO Sarah Boyd. This is her boyfriend Claudius. But right now, Claudius is like everybody's friend because everybody's a bit stressed, you know. And so, with all the stuff that we're going through, and we'll sort of talk about this now. You know, it's a bit stressful, and different people react differently. But I love the fact that Claudius sleeping with my youngest there and just like chilling everybody out, you know, because he's so chill, right? And you can hold him upside down. He just like lays there like an idiot, right? He's when I picked him out of a rescue. We have 4 animals. They're all rescues. And, you know, so I really believe in like, you know, rescuing animals and sort of loving on them and caring them. And you get more than you ever put into an animal, I think. So, let's talk about that for a minute, because obviously everybody's around the country and different people. The whole point of the NPC chat, it's NPC stands for no personal contact. And, just to like, we might as well make fun of it, because what are we going to do? Cry ourselves to sleep, right? So I'll start, right? I am a guy who doesn't fret too much. I'm not that worried. I tend to be someone that can manage it, you know, and I do fine. I've got work right now. I'm trying to do a bunch of, you know, I'm writing a couple of novels. I got work. Writing all the time is not my favorite. I like to direct and do other things. And so, you know, I got a backache and a neck ache and I'm doing all this other stuff. But, you know, we got 2 kids and you worry, but you can't worry too much, I think, because ultimately we are completely isolated. We're in quarantine. We are living the thing. We're watching the terrible news at the moment. New York City is really difficult. New York State is really difficult. Coming into New Jersey, it's pretty tough. And then there's the kind of underlying stress level. You know, what if it happened? To me, it's more if I got really sick and what would happen for my wife and children. I don't care about me. You know, I don't think about it. But I do. I mean, I'm sure that if we, you know, got sick or something, we'd all be a bit worried. But generally, I'm seeing really good things come out of this as well, guys. I kid you not. Like, I think that there's a point to this as well. I think there's some stuff that may come out of this that may change the way the world is working right now. So let's go around. You know, David, how you doing? Are you getting by on all of this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, everything for me is pretty much standard. I worry as my friends worry, and I was the same way. I didn't take it seriously. I'm used to a lot of storms, so it's just kind of okay. Let's just pick up how we go, and we'll deal as it comes. But yeah, as I just see like just servers and people that I see all the time, wrestlers who aren't able to work, they can't perform in front of anybody. There's nobody to go. I have friends in New York friend who not only was her husband laid off, but he might have contracted it because somebody in the warehouse had it, and it's that is just the most fearful time. It's just thinking about how everyone else is affected, and just, you know, it's not easy for them. So that has been the biggest thing, and just trying to laugh about it. I mean, that's a big thing for me. It's just finding the joke. It's all about finding the joke, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard, and
well, if we don't laugh about it, right, we'll cry about it. So, you know,
Absolutely.
it's not the worst thing to smile about it and to sort of say, look, hey, here's the benefits of it, right? We're all connected. The air quality over Italy and China right now is different. It's been in so long. All of these things are like positives, and I'm about to go into all these positives, right? I'm like I'm not even half glass full. I'm like glass full kind of guy. I love positivity, and I think it works for all of us. But I understand everybody's anxiety, right? You know, it's like no surprise. You're anxious for your friends. You're anxious for yourself. You know, these kind of things. You know, I'm not here to be anybody's therapy. I just like talking about it so that we can all kind of connect our shared experiences. Joe, what about yourself, man? How are you guys doing it? You got kids?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I feel bad for my kids. My oldest is a teenager. I think our kids are around the same age, Paul. And I got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old too. And I think it's hard for them not to be around their friends. We're getting to a point now where they're like, I'm like you, I kind of look for the positive. I think in all these difficult situations, if you could find a silver lining, and we're getting time to do things that we typically don't get to do, spending more time together. I mean, I'm in a situation where I'm working from home right now, but you know, at lunch I could go throw the football with my son or go for a run with my daughter. It's been good, and they're starting to come around. They just miss their friends. Kids are social, and I think it's a harder challenge on them, just being away and not having that connection and contact that they're used to. But otherwise, I'm like you, to look at the positive, and I think that's the best thing for me to do, is choose that. So we're trying to teach them to do that, and they're doing pretty good though, considering.
That's good. I mean, I literally, here's my day today, right? I did handwriting with my youngest because his handwriting is not very good, and he's getting better very quickly because dad's sitting there directly working one-on-one with him. That can't be a negative, right? The schoolwork is a bit tough for the kids, and especially the parents, but oh well. I spent an hour and a half playing fucking Roblox today. It was the most mind-numbing video game I've ever played in my life. It was awful, but I played Roblox with my kid because why not, right? And so, like, little guy was super happy, sat next to me, and we ran around. And you see, I think those kind of things we're trying to normalize for our children, and it's very difficult for them, right? Very hard for the kids and hard for the parents, but not as hard for us as it is for them, because we express it and we talk it through and we understand the context, right? They don't understand the context. And so that's pretty hard, right? I feel badly for them, but you know what? This too shall pass. As I've said on a previous stream, my mom, when she was a little kid, got bombed every day in the Blitz, right? So then they lived through it and then they got evacuated. You know, we've had worse in the world, and it'll be difficult, but it's not insurmountable. I think the bit that we worry about is watching the difficulty of the illness and all that kind of stuff, you know, but being a bit locked up, we can do this. You know, we're good. Steve, are you, I know you've got some challenges because you're learning new technologies, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a challenge for us. I've taught some Skype lessons before, and it's just going to be interesting that this is going to be all of my life for the next month and a half. And we have a thing at the end of our school year called our semester called juries, where the students have to sing for us to prove that they've gotten to the point where they need to be. And usually that's in a room with an accompanist, but now they're probably going to have to do it through Zoom and with a track. And that's going to be interesting. We usually have them sing one song that they have decided that they're going to sing, and then we pick from their repertoire. And depending on where they are in their academic years, so if they're a freshman, they may have anywhere from 3 to 4 songs. If they're a junior or senior, they may have 10, 15 songs, depending on where they are. And we go through that list and say, okay, we want to hear this. So they're going to have to bring up that track and go, okay, yeah, I can sing that. Boom, go. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. For me, I've been mostly worried about the students that I've interacted with and the students that have been out to places, because they do a lot of tours, they do a lot of conferences, and there's possibility that they could easily contract it. And so far, thank goodness, nobody's gotten it. I worry about my son and my daughter. My daughter is 30 and teaches in an elementary school, and basically her year is done. I don't know how she teaches elementary music, so I don't know how she's going to be able to teach. We're hoping to find her. We're hoping to be able to go over and talk to her and see her sometime this weekend. And then my son is 36 and he works in IT. And the big issue with him is that he and his wife are going to come up and spend some time with my wife and I this week. And that just went all tits up. So, yeah. My big thing is watching and hearing about my friends, and the majority of my friends on Facebook are singers, and a lot of them have lost their jobs because the companies, mostly opera companies, have closed down. It's interesting to see how the smaller companies and the medium-sized companies are willing to honor their paychecks and honor their contracts, and a lot of them are giving money to the set designers, the costume people, the AOTSIS is taking care of all of the stagehands, but everybody is in pretty good shape until you go into the larger companies. Larger companies are basically saying, you're gone. We don't have to pay you. It's force majeure, and you're not gonna get a red cent from us, even though they have been contracted for an entire year. And the one that really pisses us off right now, kitty.
Chips cat.
Yeah. The one that pisses us off right now is the Metropolitan Opera, because they basically laid everybody off and said you're not going to get paid. And then a week later, they came out and went to their donors and went to the same people whom they just laid off and said, we need money.
Yeah.
So there's, like you said, there are bad things going on, but there are silver linings. There are people who are helping people out. I've been watching a lot of restaurants, talking about what David was saying. I've been seeing a lot of restaurants in Colombia that are saying, we will give free food to first responders. We'll send food to hospitals. We're going to make sure you people are okay.
Without being too conspiracy theorist, Steve, I mean, is anybody surprised that the bigger companies are going, screw you?
Nope.
Is anybody surprised that, look what happened? You know, I don't think this is a political thing, because there's one rule on this show, this stream, where no politics, right? I don't care. I don't need to do politics. Everyone does it on their own time on their website anyway.
Right.
You know, their Facebook, Instagram, pick one. We don't do that, but I do think that there's a thing that's a societal thing that we can talk about, which is how money flows, right? Money flowed after the 2008 crash, 2009 crash. It went from the 1% to the 0.1% and more money. And you sort of started asking yourself, how much is enough? You know, it all went, because look at what's happening right now. This is not an opportunity for someone with a retirement account that's got stocks, because it just blew their retirement account up. But that money will go somewhere, and that money will literally go to the 0.01% who are going to get all of it. Like, this is, they don't care. They'll buy all the stocks that are now depressed, and then they'll get all of the money when it comes back. So you look at these big corporations. Offline, we were just talking about the Boston Garden and the Boston Bruins today. They did a crappy thing, right? They basically got rid of their employees. Right, that's not good. Now, I'm a Crystal Palace fan, as everybody knows, and Crystal Palace chairman said that everybody's going to get paid. So, you know, my guys did the right thing, and it's too bad, 'cause I like the Bruins, but don't like them as much right now.
That is one of the positives, right? I mean, I think that's what's really cool, is that there have been, especially the NHL took a lot of the lead, where a lot of the players were giving a lot of their salaries to the workers of the buildings that they worked at, and it didn't come from the owners. You know, you have a Mark Cuban, but that's about it. You have Jeff Bezos putting up $25 million to help out the employees, and then asking all of us to chip in with the billions upon billions he has. It's disgusting, and it's
for Jeff Bezos to put up 25 million is a little bit like you putting up a penny.
Yeah.
And he'll make 25 million tomorrow, so that's nothing. And you know, these people, it's not a political thing, it's a societal thing. Like, this is going to change things. So we'll go through this frustration a little bit. I brought this up the other day, but I do think it's worth bringing up again. I read an article that I thought was really impactful, and it talked about how we never used to be allowed more than 3.7 fluid ounces of hand sanitizer, and suddenly they're letting us take 12 ounces. Why? Doesn't that make the planes blow up? The fact is, the rule was crap in the first place. It was a stupid rule. Right. And it was arbitrary, and it was something that was thrust upon us. And now what we're being told is, oh, we're not going to throttle your internet. Well, why were you throttling our internet to begin with? Why were you locking up people? Right. Why were you locking up people around the country for misdemeanors? They don't deserve to be locked up. That's stupid. Right. So maybe, just maybe, this event will open our eyes to a little bit of what's going on. It'll open our eyes to how badly we are affected by crap, you know, how trodden down we are, where the money actually goes to, what people need to do in order to actually function properly, because this partisan fighting horrible thing is so destructive to humanity. So hopefully, you know, this will change us a little bit, and we'll be able to get past this and actually do a lot better, right? I hope so, because we couldn't do any worse right now.
Yeah.
You know, but it is frustrating, and I don't like seeing it. are you guys feeling this frustration, or are you just sort of like, hey, when I get at the end of this, I'm going to go do something about it? I'm literally thinking about becoming a politician, which is literally the antithesis of who I am. I swear, I'm thinking, like, in my mind, I'm thinking I would be a better politician than any of these chuckleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you look around too, there's a lot of positives going around. I'm watching how kids are connecting or trying to connect. We have kids that going around the neighborhood drawing on people's sidewalks with chalk, just trying to do some positive things. People dropping off stuff to the elderlies. They're gathering food, doing things. So, you know, you get, for me, if I look at all those negatives and get caught up in it, it's like daunting and overwhelming. But when you look at some of these little things and the little things that people are doing, those are the things that you hope get more press, that are more contagious, and start inspiring other people. And I think how we handle this too affects our kids, because they're going to learn more, not from what we're saying, but how our actions and how we handle situations. So, man, I'm hoping more people step up and try to find the positive, do something positive. I don't know if I do what you're doing, Paul, and step into politics would be the opposite direction I'd want to go. But I think each one of us in our own little corner, our own little world, can make a little difference. And, you know, people watching us, hopefully they pick up on that and learn from it. Because this is going to stick with our kids. It's going to stick with this generation of how we end stressful situations. And they'll see those corporations that are taking advantage of it, and they'll see the other companies, smaller companies, that are stepping up trying to help people, and then hope that will inspire more. But yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah.
You know, I hope so. Steve, what's that? What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, Joe's exactly right. One of the things that I find really, really interesting is that when you see people walk, especially around our neighborhood in Columbia, you see people walk. It used to be that, you know, they can walk a foot or two from you and they won't say a word to you.
Yep.
Now we have to keep 6 feet, but everybody waves.
Everybody's waving. Everybody's sharing experience.
Everybody's waving. Everybody's wanting that personal contact, and we're getting it virtually too. I have friends who are setting up virtual cocktail parties.
All right.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that once this gets over, people are going to find that the way we were really sucked.
Yeah.
And we need to have some sort of personal contact with people. We need to be nicer. We need to be more understanding. We need to see if we can make this work, because right now, the politicians aren't doing it. We're having to do this. The people who are trying to keep us alive are having to do this. But part of it is because of the isolation. We have to reach out to each other, and we've been so isolated and insular for so long. It's good to see. It's good to see people trying to reach out. So what you're doing here and what a lot of people are doing is just a great thing.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you Yanks are just about to find out what it's like to have a bit of the British wartime spirit, right?
Exactly.
This is what
Yeah.
This is what my mom tells me about, what my grandparents told me about. It was just like this. Everybody hunkered down in an Anderson shelter waiting to get their faces pounded by Germans. You know, buildings falling all around them, and they're singing songs across the street to each other and helping each other out and giving each other milk and all those things. I always go back to this thing. I always feel like my political whatever I do, which isn't going to happen, but anyway, will be, I want to go back to 9/12. I don't want I want it everything after 9/11. The day after was amazing. Everybody went, we're in this together. And so, you know, let's be in this together, right? All right.
And that's the change that I would like to see. I mean, I think that with everybody kind of hoarding things, and you're able to kind of start to see where people are affected and they're not able to get supplies, that's, you know, people start opening their hearts and take a group mentality.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely. Now I live in Georgia, right? And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people here are just sort of like, hey, I'm going to go about my life as usual. And that's to do with, again, sort of a political issue of whether or not this is, you know, real and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, guys, please, like, you know, I hate to see people manipulated. And I hope that when that manipulation ends, that people will start seeing their commonality. I had a funny thing the other day. I put up we're doing a Star Trek spoof, and I put up for general consumption, would anybody like to suggest a name for the worst ship in Starfleet, right? And so I got these funny jokes, and you know, I get why it might be a joke, but someone had put up, and again, we're not doing politics, so hold on. This is about people, not politics. Someone had put up USS Trump, and I said no politics. And because someone put up the USS Trump as a suggestion, someone immediately put up USS Biden, and here we go. And I'm like, guys, for God's sake, like, would you just stop, please? You don't need to point out that you don't agree with each other. We kind of get it at this point, you know? Here's what politics is. It's a fucking self-enrichment scheme. It's a scam. Both of you need your heads knocked together because you can't see that you're being scammed by a bunch of greedy bastards. All right, you got it? Shut up and go away. All right, so don't do that on my page, I think is pretty much my point. All right, we're going to go to happy, guys. And so on the way to happy, I'm told, by the way, that this might get us in trouble with YouTube, but I really don't give a rat's ass. We're going to go to amazingly happy. We get a minute, right? We get like 1 minute of this is the happiest song in a minute that you've ever heard. Here we go. Lord Rockingham's 11. I hope. Hang on a minute. Maybe. Is it working? Not
Yeah.
Bastards. Now, I had all that work. Oh, I know why it's not working. Well, you know, imagine me pretending that this was the best song you've never heard. That was a load of shit. All right, we're gonna. Technical issues have already hit me. That was crap. I don't know why that doesn't work. It's supposed to work. I queued this up and everything. So I don't know why that one didn't work. We're going to go for a different one then. Let's get rid of that one. We are going to go with this one. I queued up 2 pieces of music so that we could listen to something that was fun. We'll go, hey, this is the coolest thing ever, right? Let's give a shot to this one and see if it works. All right. And this is a band called Walk Off the Earth. And the reason I'm doing this is I really like sharing really cool stuff that we can, like, good resources. Has anybody ever heard of Walk Off the Earth?
No.
All right. We're about to find out if you're going to hear of them, because I'm an idiot and apparently I can't queue up sound. But we'll have a go and see if it plays. All right. Hang on. Oh, you got to be kidding.
Oh, that was awesome.
That's great.
Right? I mean, those guys are just.
Where do you find this?
I tell you what, these guys,
Wow.
they're incredible, right? Just incredible brilliance. The Walk Off the Earth is the name of the band. Just incredible people, and the talent that's required to make that happen. It's not just the rehearsal and the single shot.
Walk off the earth.
All of those people, and they all played every instrument, every single one of them. They were all proficient at it, even just like the kicking of the little bell and everything. All right, we got a friend coming in. Hang on a second. I think we might have someone. Tate, you there?
I am here.
All right. See, look what happened. We got a late arrival. I love it. Brilliant.
I'm a bit scrumpy.
Yeah, that's all right. You can be scruffy. You come late. You get to be late. That's great. You just missed the Walk Off the Earth, by the way. Which, if you've never heard of Walk Off the Earth, the band we just played, they were incredible. So, to me, what we were getting into, you just arrived. By the way, Tate, you just arrived at the bit where all the positivity happened. We've already pissed and moaned about the coronavirus, so you missed out. You don't get to piss and moan.
Okay, good. I'm
Yeah,
sick
good.
of the coronavirus.
Yeah, good. That's it. You don't get to say anything fun. You just have to basically deal with all the positivity and stuff now. So sorry about that. I will say that you and I have we've known each other a little bit in the past, and I'm glad that you reached out and came on the show. Tell everybody where we met. I think it's kind of at shows, right?
So we met for the first time at in Orlando. Was it WonderCon in Orlando?
Maybe
when we did the karaoke.
That's right. We did karaoke. That's right.
Yeah, we did Nobody But Me by the Human Beings.
That's right.
And we were a bit intoxicated.
You think?
And then we hung out again in Chicago, and my former boss was being a drunken ape on crack, and you told him as much. And then you came and apologized to him the next day because you were like, oh, I'm so sorry, but you caught me in a bad moment. And so you said, let me come to the store and do a signing.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, that's great. So basically, I disgraced myself. I'm very pleased. I'm very proud of that. See you later, Nolan. Have a good night, mate. Nolan's on the way out. So one of the things that we did, Tate, was we threw up, and you and I we got talking about like punk rock, and because I used to play in a band, so we had played back in the day with like Fugazi, and I played a show one time with Jane's Addiction, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good. And so we shared a little bit of that. I've got something brilliant here, which you sent to me, which I love, right? We're going to do the share screen again. Hopefully I won't get it wrong. But this time we're going to share a picture that you sent to me of you, which I think is just rocking. This is a great picture. That is, how old were you there? Either your screen looked up or you have no memory of it. I hope that's yeah. Is that screen lock up or are you there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I froze for a second there. Oh my God, that is my junior year in high school. I had really long hair, and my sister and her friend decided they were gonna poof it up. And so I, kept telling the guy that's taking our school photo, like, no, I always wear these shades. This is what I always look like. And so he finally said, fine. And so that's how I was in my high school yearbook.
That is spectacular. David, I believe we have a winner because David had some spectacular hair earlier on. And I'm afraid you lose, man. That was good, but this is not Tate Hemlock hair, I'm afraid.
I didn't glam it up enough.
Yeah, this is interesting. One time, a guy came over, was looking at comics to buy some comics. He owned a comic store in Mesa. And he found this photo because I guess I hid it in a comic box thinking, oh, no one will ever find it here. And he's like, what the hell is this? And he was rolling. And so I had multiple copies of this photo. So he ended up taking one. And one day I walk into this bar that I go to all the time, and it was everywhere. Like they flyered every inch of this place with this. And I walked in and everybody's like, woo, he's here. Dawkins here. So.
That's special. Well, we went through everybody's pets. So let's kind of throw in the one that you sent to me. Who's this redoubtable fellow?
That is Cosmo.
Cosmo.
So yeah, he is very he doesn't respect boundaries at all. He just climbs on your shoulders, gets in your face. He will, when he wants to rub and love on you, that's what he does.
That's
so
cool.
He climbs all over. Yeah, he's a cool kitty. I actually just had a cat die, so I was like, yeah, I was kind of bummed. Because that's the cat I probably would have shared. He was a kitten still. So, but he got an infection and died from septic shock.
Oh man, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's it's rough, right? Because I had been through this. This guy that I've got right here, I told this story the other day, and we're doing this whole pets thing. I had another cat. It was a Manx cat called Mr. Winston, and he just suddenly died. He was 5 years old and he had a heart attack. And I got Claudius right here, who's now going off in search of treats. Go on, go that way. So when you lose them, man, it's rough. It's tough. I'm sorry to hear that you just lost one. But
yeah, I felt really bad because the day before, I mean, I knew he was not doing well, and I'm like, okay, he was purring and drank some water and ate some food, and so then, when I got up in the morning, I checked on him, and I thought, okay, if he's not better when I get home from work, I'm going to take him to the ER.
Yeah. And
when I got home, not better, took him to the ER. Within minutes of bringing him in there, they said, we're sorry, but he passed away. And I was like, what? How's that? So, yeah, it was kind of a shocker. Man, I'm working from home now, so I don't have to, do anything except roll out of bed and start working.
That's right. Guess what? It's Pajama Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Pajama Thursday every day. I love it. There you go. Look at that, David. Well done. Steve, what you got? You got some pajamas going? All right. Yeah, next, I love it. Joe, you're just looking like well put together, mate. Look at the state of
Look,
Look. Joe,
see if
look
I
at
can-
you. Tate's got like pajamas going. What are you doing, Joe? You
John Holmes.
look at
Oh
this.
man!
This is incredible.
Wow.
This is that is a fine image. It's also frozen on the screen, I believe, or almost
He
frozen.
has the Hulk on his ass.
There you go. Look, Tate's got, like, just giving us like extra glance. I love it. Let's see. We lost Joe for a minute. Joe's out. He'll come back in again in a second. So great stuff. All right. So we're going to do. Here's Joe back again. Hold on. He made it back. Maybe. I think he's got like connection issues because AT&T throttled his internet. There you go. You back again, Joe? No, he's sort of like peripherally. There you go, Joe. Yeah. What you got? Can you hear us? No, he's just going to hang out. He ain't going to say anything to us. Yeah. Who's got the echo? Someone's got an echo. Tate, make sure you.
I think it's Tate.
All right, there you go. Anyway, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to do the madness like we normally do. We're going to share a screen again because now we get to do crazy shit. We've been playing a game of basically
I can't hear Paul.
trivia. Can't hear me? Don't know why. All right, we got connection issues. Hold on.
I just poor Joe's connection.
All right, how do you guys now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Don't know what happened there. We get connection issues, but that happened. So let's go back again. We are going to play a game of trivia, right? Just because why not? Winner basically scores fuck all, right? So if you win, you get nothing. You get the undying admiration of the three people that are watching. So well done. Congratulations. Like the world is very impressed. We're going to show a few things. Here we go. We're going to show some animals, and you have to tell me if you have any idea what this animal is. Right? You ready?
Okay.
All right. Not that one. What's that?
That's Tate's cat.
Tate's cat. All right. So we've got it established that you know how to do this game. All right.
So fuck off. Yeah.
Right. So fuck off. You know how to do this game. All right. So let's get you set up and get you sorted out. And we're going to start showing you some animals. All right. Now, this all started, this zombie apocalypse, with...
It's a pangolin.
Pangolin, right?
It is a pangolin, correct.
Yeah.
So apparently the idea was that somewhere in a wet market in Wuhan, China, potentially, the coronavirus transferred from bats through pangolins, which are sold apparently for their scales, and it transferred to humans because pangolins were being kept in these markets. And at that point I went, wow, I didn't know what a pangolin was. I'd never seen one. Look at that thing. Right?
Same thing happened to me. I just found a pop punk band by the name of Pangolin.
Perfect. Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, you got like a right. All right. So here's a few more animals for us to go. Let's see if you can tell me what one of these is.
No clue.
I've seen those in a National Geographic magazine before. It's it's not coming to me. I've
I
actually
will
seen
say
that.
that it has a brilliantly suggested name.
Wow.
Steve, that's like the loudest noise in the world, by the way. I love it. It's brilliant. Like, he has no idea. There's Tate again. Tate sort of made it. Got
Maybe
a
Tate will know.
Yeah,
shirt. There you
I got kicked out.
All right, you're back again. I like the John Holmes shirt. We're playing a game. All right, that animal is literally called the cock of the rock.
Yes.
Cable
I remember
to
that.
see if that helps.
It works with the John Holmes shirt. Yeah.
It works with the John Holmes shirt. Tate, cock of the rock, right there. All right, we're going to this thing. Anybody got an idea, right? What this is?
Holy.
Is that a desert fox?
All right, you've got fox, so you get half a point of fuck all, right? Well done. Keep your own scores, by the way, because nobody cares.
Hey.
What have you got? What do you think? Any more than fox? Because it is a fox.
No clue. Looks like a fox and a lemur had a kid.
Believe it or not, it is called a bat-eared fox.
Okay.
Oh, I was about to say
that.
rabbit-eared fox.
Yes. Now, sometimes the clue is in the appearance of the animal. I think you're pretty much going to understand what the animal is, right? But what's it called? Any idea?
I suck at this game. No clue.
Tate, any idea?
It looks like a sloth and an orangutan had a mutant pair of siblings.
I like the hair. By the way, the little punk hairstyle on the one on the left is pretty strong. I've got
That's
to
not,
Yeah.
that's not a capuchin, is it?
It is not a capuchin monkey. It is a monkey, but it's a golden snub-nosed monkey, and I think it pretty much you can tell.
Okay. Yeah.
I would imagine that
He
once
looks
they were named. Say again.
He looks punk.
He looks punk,
Just
doesn't he?
yeah, his expression and everything.
Everything got going on, and sort of his expression is like, "Who the fuck are you calling a golden snub-nosed monkey, you prick?" Like, I want to give myself my own name. I'm not going to be called a snub-nosed monkey. All right, here we go. Next animal. These are cool.
What the hell?
I am
Bro,
Whoa.
chicken doos?
no clue. Almost afraid to
Really?
guess.
White bat,
No.
fruit bats.
Who just said what now? Tate, what did you say?
It's a fruit bat.
What did you say before that? A white.
It's a white fruit bat.
It is a white bat. Is a Honduran white bat. Well played.
Oh wow!
You get a full point and a half of fuck all. So you're up in the lead.
Nice.
You are definitely making these boys. Okay, here we go. Next one. What is that? Any idea?
Is that an echidna?
No. I suppose
Okay.
it must be in the echidna family. In other words, it's probably an anteater of some kind, I think. Looks like one, but who knows? All right.
A possum after he stuck his fingers in the socket?
That's right. It looks like a possum, doesn't it? We got Stoggy thinks it's an anteater, like an echidna. I mean, it's all in the same thing. This is an animal called a tenrec.
I
Who
can
knew?
see that.
Who knew a tenrec? But I tell you what, I like his hairstyle. He's kind of like a hedgehog and an anteater mixed together, isn't he?
That
Yeah.
went to a rave.
Yeah, pretty cool. Whether I went to a rave and got like, woke up in a patch of like catnip in Poughkeepsie, you know. All right, look at that thing.
Why?
Because it's looking at you. That's why.
Shit.
This is
A
the stuff.
worm and a snake.
What you got?
I can't even tell. Is that a paw on its one side? Is it like
Yeah.
a worm snake mole?
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
No
Well,
idea what that is.
I'm going to give you something here. You got one part of its name because mole is part of its name.
Oh.
Mole.
So do I get a quarter point, or is that like a half a point?
You get half a point of fuck all. So you are tied, I think, with David, who locked into half a point earlier on, I think.
A pink snake mole?
It is a Mexican mole lizard. I kid you not.
Oh,
BJ and Royal Nation just joined
That's
us.
crazy.
Hey, BJ. That's a Mexican mole lizard because, you know, everybody wants one, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're going down
Right.
there, we're going through the thing here. This thing right here, do you know what kind of animal that little dude is? Because that's she's gorgeous.
It's like a
Yeah.
fox, right?
It's a badger.
Yeah, it's almost got markings like a honey badger, but not a honey badger.
It does
Yeah.
look like one, doesn't it? But it's, you know, it's a particular kind of animal, actually, that anyone, I suppose, who lives near it goes, I know what that is, you know.
It's got to be Australia.
Yeah, it looks like a badger.
no clue.
This is an animal called a marten, like M-A-R-T-E-N, marten.
Yeah.
Right now, I recognize that because I've seen one in the zoo before. So once I saw the name, I went, "Oh yeah, I know what a marten is." All right, let's go to the next one because we're trying to see if any of you know any of these animals. Look at this person. This is particularly impressive.
That is a reggae spider.
It is a reggae man. It's a reggae spider. I mean, come on. Look at the king
That's
hat
cool.
as well. This is the king of spiders right there.
Wow.
That is cool.
Beached gargantuan.
No clue, nobody?
I thought the reggae spider was
like
a real name.
Yeah,
I thought you were serious. I'm like, all right, yeah, I believe that.
I would call it a reggae spider, you know.
It
Or
should
like
be a
the
reggae
crown.
spider.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
crown
hey, you
rodent.
got something? No, just hanging
Rainbow
out. All right.
spider.
This is apparently this thing is called a peacock spider. So we were close.
Okay.
Who said spider first? 'Cause obviously someone
Now
knew it
it
was a
makes
spider.
sense.
Okay, Steve,
Yeah.
you're now detracted. Like we take half a point of fuck all away from you because that was pretty fucking obvious, wasn't it? It's a spider. Well
Yeah,
done.
it's a spider. Yeah, thank you.
Well done, Steve.
That went
Thank
to a
you.
Bob Marley concert. Yeah.
Thanks for your participation. All right, let's try this one. What is that?
That's got to be another
A
kind of mole.
mistake?
Is that a mole rat?
Not a mole rat.
It's almost like a platypus,
Mole,
like the way that
armadillo
the
mole?
bottom
It's got
of
like
it
some
is.
kind of shell on its top.
Yeah.
It's
What
like-
did you go?
Armadillo mole? It's like a
That's
cross between a
Joe.
mole and armadillo.
Okay, so it is a pink fairy armadillo. 1 point of fuck all to you.
Wow.
Yes. I got a point.
Congratulations. This one, I had never heard of this next one, but apparently they're everywhere. Do you know what that is?
Maybe a rat had a baby. I
spotted,
have no idea.
spotted rat fox.
I love spotted rat fox because it's what it should be, Tate. I think it should be a spotted rat fox, to be honest. That is an animal called a quoll, Quuoll, a quoll, and wherever they live, which I have no idea, I'll have a look in a minute. Wherever they live, they are like everywhere. So let's give you a little bit of information on a quoll. I believe I found it somewhere. Hang on, somewhere around here. Let's have a look. Quoll.
It's gotta be Australia.
Yeah, could be. By the way, going back to the Lowland Tenrec, those are, the one that looked like a little spiky punk hedgehog.
Yeah.
Those ones are around. A quoll, though. Let's see, where do they live? They look like a cat and a mouse had a baby. There are 6 species of them. They are marsupials, believe it or not. They live in Australia and Indonesia, Papua New Guinea. They like to climb trees in the native forests. Their hobbies include long walks and I don't know. All right, we're going again. Let's see if we can show you the next one. Let's see if anybody has a sense of this one. Go on. You want to tell me what this one is.
Red panda? No, it's not red panda. It's almost
That's
like
a red panda.
raccoon. Is that a red panda?
Okay. Half a point, because what does it look like a cross between a raccoon and a what?
A raccoon.
And a
Raccoon and a panda or a husky?
well, I'm going to give you a full point because it's literally called a raccoon dog.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh,
And you're like, what? What is that thing? Why is a raccoon dog?
More of
when
a
it's
cat
home?
body.
Well, kids, let me tell you about the raccoon dog. At a glance, this furry guy looks just like, I'm reading this shit off the internet, you might find in the tree down the street, but it's more related to foxes and dogs than it is raccoons. It's native to Russia and East Asia. However, it was introduced to Europe for the fur trade. So apparently these things have been around forever. Who knew? Never seen one before. All right.
Cool.
We're closing in mercifully on the end. Anybody got a sense of what this thing is?
A red lemur.
No.
blood monkey.
If I told you what it was, you might go, yeah, I kind of recognize the animal, maybe if you've ever seen one of these before. Begins with an M.
Muskrat?
A mink?
Marmoset?
These are good guesses, and they're all wrong. But like mink, Tate, you didn't do any M thing, man. You got any M thing? Like,
looks like a tight monkey, but that's.
well, it's
I
actually
can't think of an M that would go.
okay. So this thing is a ring-tailed mongoose. Believe it or not.
Mongoose. Okay.
Okay.
And I think when you see it, you go, yeah, I recognize a mongoose, right? Madness. Okay. We suck at what is this thing?
Man, that is one dopey looking elk. A gazelle.
It is like the dumbest dog ever.
Isn't that Jar
Drunk
Jar
elk.
Binks' boyfriend?
It is
It's Jar Jar Binks' boyfriend?
something like that. I do not know.
Definitely coming from some kind of camel.
It's like
too,
a
right?
goat and a donkey.
It's good though, isn't it?
Just looks
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
I wonder how violent they are with them horns.
Probably not very. They're
Yeah,
too stupid to be violent. They're sort of like hangout guys, you know.
Okay.
But no idea. Anybody?
Camel cross of goat.
Is it a type of
Gazelle.
sheep? Or goat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect it to go this way. I thought you might know the answer because I just realised that I've lost the page where I know what it is. Wait a minute, found it. It's called a Saiga, S-A-I-G-A. There you go. I managed to rescue myself at the last second. I don't think anybody noticed.
Okay.
I love
There's
Sega.
my Saiga. All right. We are going with this little furry. I like that one.
Oh,
That is
A lynx.
that is a sand cat.
Oh, yes. Well done. And because you
Yeah.
actually knew the name, I'm giving you 3 points of fuck all. Well done. Sandcat, that little guy, Sandcat.
I saw that. I saw this on the internet. Apparently, they're really, really. Everybody thinks they're adorable, and they're very, very good to good at hiding.
killing.
Yeah.
They're good at hiding, and yeah, they kill lizards and mice and things like that.
They
I thought
prey burrowing underground. They barely drink any water. They get it all from their food, and they're hard to research because the fur on the bottom of their paws makes it so that they leave almost no footprints. They can hide very well. Well done. Like you just scored basically all the fuck all points that are in this game. And finally, this thing.
that's a fruit bat.
No, not a fruit bat. Because not a bat.
Some kind of flying squirrel, a hairless flying squirrel.
It's a Feldman monkey.
I like it.
We're going to call it a Marty. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll give you one more guess. Who hasn't had a guess? Because it's a particular kind of animal. I love David's look of confusion has literally made my week. It's brilliant.
I got nothing beyond the squirrel. Like
Nothing.
it's
No.
yeah.
Nothing. Okay, so this is a lemur, believe it or not. It's a Sunder flying lemur.
I don't believe
Wow.
It's true. I wouldn't lie to you. Would I lie to you? I'm on the internet right now. I'm literally on the internet. There's no way I could lie to you.
you. Never.
So I want to point out that Tate was in the lead for a little while. These homemade names, says Sarah, are killing me. Well, guess what? Yeah, you guys just got punked. Yeah. Tate was in the lead for a little while, actually making a go at it. David looked confused. Joe barely contributed anything. Steven suddenly pulls one out of his arse and says Sandcat at the right moment and scores all the points. So the winner of absolute fuck all is Steve Jepson. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You win absolutely nothing. All right. So we finally found something to enjoy ourselves with. I'm going to keep the positive vibe going because I like the happiness. Walk Off the Earth was awesome. So sorry, Tate, that you missed it, but check them out if you never get to see them again. We found out about crazy ass animals. We found out about our animals that are keeping us happy. Here's the thing that I like to do on all of these streams. Tell me, guys, what is your favorite? Because everyone's got a phone. What is your favorite app that you have that you use the most? Because I love it when people share apps because you know, it might be a database of music or something, or a game that you played or something. So I'm going to go first and give you guys just a second to think about it. I always tell people about this. There's a game called Monument Valley, and if you've never played it, it's awesome. It uses perspective, and at some point I'm going to bring up a little bit of video in a minute because I'm going to go find it while you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Monument Valley. So if you've never played it, go find Monument Valley, play it on your phone. Everybody loves that suggestion. When they play the game, they're like, I'm not really even a gamer, and I think that's the best game I've ever played on a thing. So enjoy it, right?
Okay.
Super Chats, says PJ. Our super chats aren't working. I didn't know we had a super chat, so we'll solve that. Stoggy will solve that, PJ. All right, David, what's your favorite app?
It's unfortunate to say I try not to use too many things on my phone. I try to use it as just a phone. So unfortunately, I don't dive into apps other than a couple of few, and the worst one of them all being Twitter. I find myself on Twitter quite often. I like the people, like I follow people that I'm interested in and that I want to know things about, or get some of my information from, probably more than I should. But it's a better way for me to do it than some. It's definitely better than Facebook. So I will gladly accept that.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see, Tate, have you got an app that you've been using that is just like your thing and everybody likes it, or what you got? Jumping around.
Well,
yeah,
I quit smoking.
Okay.
So I've been using Quit Genius, how much money I've saved, how much days of my life I've gained back, and just checking on my progress, because I smoked for 36 years of my life down the toilet smoking. So Quit Genius, if you know anyone that needs to quit smoking, I recommend that app.
And what does it do? What does it do exactly, Quit Genius? Is it gives you like ideas on how to on how to stay quit, or what does it do? It tells you, like, how does it work?
Well, you tell it like what day you quit and like the time, and then how much you pay per pack of cigarettes and how long you smoked for. And then each day that you don't smoke, it gives you like sort of like, you know, it tells you how your health has improved. Like my last one was, my lungs' natural cleaning system is recovering, becoming better at removing mucus, tar, and dust from my lungs. So it gives you like your health benefits for your heart, your brain, and your lungs. And then it tells you as well, like, okay, so since I quit smoking, I have saved $360 that I haven't spent on cigarettes.
By the way, well done, because it's apparently one of the hardest things to do in the world is to give up nicotine. They say that nicotine opens a door in your brain that you can never close, that no other drug will open. So giving up is pretty impressive for anyone that does it, you know?
Yeah, it was not easy, and I did it.
Yeah.
So I am now on day 48.
Well done.
Great.
Yeah.
Day 48. That's awesome, man. Well done. All right. Let's see who's got an app then. Give me an app. David, you did yours. You didn't have much to go except Twitter. That's shocking, by the way. Like, awful. Like, you're fired.
I trust me. I know. I see all of it all the time. I'm like, I kind of like it here.
I use the Libby app. It's like a local public library because you can do audiobooks on there for free. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Procreate I use every day. It's called Libby, Libby. I don't know if it's just a local like Ohio library app, but it's pretty cool. I listen to I think I binged Neil Gaiman for about 3 weeks straight on audiobooks while I was driving.
I used to be Neil.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. All right, Steve.
Right, yeah.
Me, basically, I'm I do a lot of Facebook, so I'm on that a lot. But one of the things that I use that I've been using with my kids, and it's really, really cool, is, and you can find these anywhere, it's a spectrum analyzer. So the idea is it allows you to take a look at the way your sound or your voice or any sound will be set up on a spectrum. So it breaks it down into certain frequencies and certain formants. And one of the cool things about it is that instruments usually don't have any formants past the second or the third, and that's basically amplitude and frequency meeting together. That's what a formant is. But singers have third, fourth, fifth, and sixth formants that they can actually boost, and that's how you can actually hear a singer over a full orchestra without amplification. So I'll show that to my students, and we'll play with it a little bit. I'll have them sing something, then I'll have them do something, and work it up, and they'll go, "Oh wow, I just boosted my fourth formant." Yeah, you're doing better. So yeah, and so it's a cute little tool.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So now that we've done apps, because everyone should have a look if any of those apps interest you. I love the sharing of information is awesome right now. All right, we're going to the next one, right? Favorite. Oh, by the way, hang on a minute. I did. Let's try the old queuing up and sharing the screen again. I do believe I have this. Let's play Monument Valley, the game that I was talking about. This is a really cool game. We will kind of make the screen bigger or something like that. Here you go. Let me show you how it works. It's all about perspective. You see the little girl right there. She's walking around, but she can't get away, right? So if you turn the little thing, she goes over here, and you can rotate it, and now the perspective changes.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, wow.
It's like an Escher puzzle that you work your way through. And then she goes and she solves the thing.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's an incredible game, because ultimately, I think we'll sort of see if we can just see some of the additional, I love the advertising. She works her way through these little things, and you have to try and see if you can solve the little puzzle. Do it in your own time, right? But you basically solve the puzzle by moving things. So when you touch it, look, see, now she's going to a different place, and now she has to work out how to get to. Everything changes with the perspective, and now you have to basically solve the puzzle differently. But if she steps off of that, now she has to work out where to go, and the perspectives will change things, and she doesn't know what to do, right? So it's a really cool game. I'm actually going to kind of turn it off now, because I don't want to spoil it. It's such a lot of fun.
Cool.
So find Monument Valley. Okay,
Cool.
Here we go. We're going in films, right? We're going into movies now, because everybody needs to sit at home and just watch a movie or something. We've got plenty of time to do it. I'll start. What is your favorite movie that that many people don't know and they really should watch, right? So for me, there's a film that I've been telling everybody. This was in my Facebook page, called Max. And Max was the story of Adolf Hitler when he comes back from the First World War, and he's at a crossroads, and we know he's going to become Adolf Hitler, but it's a question of whether or not he's become an artist or become the leader of the Third Reich. And he is befriended by a Jewish art dealer, and it's a guy called John Cusack's character is Max, I believe, and befriends Adolf Hitler and teaches him certain things about you need to paint what you feel, not what you see, because Adolf's a technical painter, but he doesn't really paint anything. And he's got all these anger issues and all this crazy stuff going on. And so it's such an amazing movie that shows you how people go a certain way. There's an inevitability to it. He's going to become Adolf Hitler, and we know this, but there's a series of forces that kind of make him become that person. So if you've never seen the movie Max with John Cusack, watch the movie. You will thank me for watching it. Okay, Joe, what have you got? Have you got a movie that that most people don't?
Everyone's probably known the ones I've seen. Snatch is one of my favorite movies. The Guy Ritchie movie as a Irish vagabond boxer. I don't know.
Well, we can do that.
One is, but I love that one.
Yeah, it's not it is mainstream, and it's not. I mean, I do think that Brad Pitt should have been given a Academy Award nomination for the Pikey, because trust me, I know Pikeys, and he's one of them. That was absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
All right, Tate, what have you got? Have you got a movie that you like that most people don't know?
Well, that would probably describe my entire video library. It's mostly weird Asian films, B movies that most people have never even heard of.
What's the one though that you think what's one that people might like? You know, that people, if they're not a fan of the genre, but do you have one that you think people might really need to know that they've just never seen before?
I would say Train to Busan. It's a South Korean zombie film that happens on a train.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, it's got to wear thin pretty quick if it's all on a train. No, it was amazing. And then I cried at the end. Like, I've never cried at the end of a zombie film before, but it got me so much in the feels that I was like, whoa, am I actually crying? So yeah, I highly recommend that film if you haven't seen it.
Well, if there's any consolation, my wife would probably have cried as well, because she is she cried at an episode of The Simpsons once. So what can you do, right? She's just like, she'll cry at anything. All right, so Steve, what you got?
Well, in terms of mainstream, one of my favorite movies is My Favorite Year. I love that movie. I think it's just so great. First of all, I'm a huge fan of that kind of comedy, and I love anything with Peter O'Toole in it. But in terms of a movie that a lot of people don't know about, I think one of my favorites is Quartet. It was in 2012, and it's about this home for retired musicians, and they're getting ready to set up a concert to celebrate the birthday of composer Giuseppe Verdi, and three of this quartet that used to sing together are at the place, and this diva comes in. She moves in, and it's Maggie Smith. And she was a former wife of one of the people in the quartet. And one of my favorite things about it is I love Billy Connolly, and Billy Connolly's in it, and he plays the baritone, and he just basically chews scenery left and right. And it's fabulous.
That's great. David, I think you're up the last. Yeah, have you got one for us that you know that most people don't know?
I think most people don't know, because I know a lot of people who don't. So I hope this is new for a lot of people. In Bruges is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It's a brilliantly written, like, it's perfect. The way that everything touched on in the film pays off in some way, shape, or form, and it's just a joy. And I mean, I know it did the writer and director pretty well, but I don't think too many people know of it. And I mean, you know, Colin Farrell and Ray Fiennes and everybody in it is absolutely stellar.
Well, that is a great suggestion, by the way. So in the comments, I got the last thing here, which is we put in the comments here internet resources that you are really digging right now, because hey, we're all locked up and there are zombies patrolling the outside of our houses and stuff. So for me, there's an incredible resource called DIY.org that we found, and we got 2 kids, and I just can't watch them play video games all day as much as I would like to play video games with them. So DIY.org is pretty cool, and I'm gonna do my thing and share the screen as usual and see if I don't mess it up. I might be able to do it. Here you go, DIY.org. Okay, so this thing right here is this cool like website that you can basically, you know, you can do like photography, but you can build machines and you can do Lego stuff. It's got all of these things that I kid you not, even though it's for kids, it's kind of not for kids, because I'm telling you, there's some stuff in there. I'm like, I want to do that, right? So the music star thing's very much a kid thing, but like some of the science things and the, you know, drawing boot camp and invent your own machines, it's sort of like you can kind of hang out and amuse yourself as well. So does anybody have an internet resource that they just realized, like, this is cool, man?
Openculture.com. It's a free website where
I don't have one.
Where you can kind of get textbooks, you can get free movies. They bring up a lot of cool videos on history and stuff on YouTube that you can find. And it's just all different culture things that you can find. It's all free. It's all audiobooks, digital ebooks. There's some Neil Gaiman stuff. There's a lot of good stuff on open culture, and they're always posting just cool, rad videos. Big fan of open culture.
Well, there you go, right? So look at this. That's great, David. That's a really good one. Anybody else got one, by the way? Because that's pretty cool.
One of the cool things is the Art Institute of Chicago is now doing virtual tours of the art museum, and the cool thing is that you can, if you find something you like, you can hover over it, and they'll give you all this information. They'll give you the information about the person who did the drawing, who made the sculpture, who did the painting, where it was done, what it was made out of. It's a real cool thing, especially if you like Monet, because they've got some beautiful Monets.
Nice. Anybody else? Because if not, speak now, forever hold your peace. Claudius is basically like running the show at this point. You know what I've got is for the last shoot that we did, I got a tribble. Is Jerry, and he's a lot less trouble than Claudius is, to be honest. So
I have a tribble in my office.
Yeah.
That I got from David Gerald. I use it as an emotional support tribble. So like before this whole thing started, my kids would come in and they'd have a bad day and they'd just pick up the tribble and go, "Can you make it turn on? I need something to purr."
All of my kids are doing the same thing. All they do is just get the tribble. Like they argue over who can hang out with this stupid bloody tribble. It's brilliant. I like it. All right, it was easier than any of the other animals. Well, look, guys. I really appreciate you coming and chatting. This is all about connecting. And I just think that this is like a positive thing where everybody gets to meet each other,
right?
Say hi, be friends, support each other, stay in touch, come by the stream. So thanks for coming. We're about 1 hour and 30 minutes in. Is there anything on social? Joe, I'll start with you because I know that you got a bunch of art going on. So where can people find your stuff and get to see what you've been doing?
Yeah, most of my stuff is on Instagram right now. So it's Romano Blue 36. And I'm reconstructing my website. That's what most. I'm not a big fan of Twitter. So I do some stuff on Instagram.
Yeah. Twitter is a toxic mess. Can you, I don't know if we can type this into I don't know if you have the ability to type into the chat, but you should be able to. While we're busy talking, and we will get your contact information there. David, how about you? You're on Twitter, Facebook. Where are you on?
Yeah, TELEUTEDPU on majority of things. A good way to find what I do is go to Shimmer Women on Twitter or Shimmer Athletes. A lot of female wrestling, just all sorts of different things. WWN Live, a couple different places that I shoot and film. So a couple of things. All
right, Tate, where are you at on this awful, terrible internet? Where are you at?
Twitter, of course. And then probably DeviantArt would be the place to go look at my photos.
Yeah.
But I haven't done photography for almost 2 years now.
We want to see it. We want to see it anyway, man. Oh, I've got one thing that I'm going to end with. You just gave me the best idea, by the way, which we always end with as well. I want to see it. So can you give us the DeviantArt information so that we can find you? Where are you at?
Yeah, it won't let me. Oh, maybe I can chat here. Okay. Here we go. I was looking to see if I could put it on there. That should be it. A lot of comic book artists that buy my photos. So I'm assuming, for, references to anatomy. I don't know.
That's good, right? Well done. Yeah, I'm assuming.
I've become friends with a lot of people that way that I've never actually met, but who started buying my photos. And then, I was like, well, maybe I guess I should try out his books too. So,
right. So there's, I put your thing in. I just worked out how to do this. All right. David, I put you in there as well. I'm learning how to do this as we go, guys. So apologies. Everybody's going in. Everybody's going in. So Steve, what about you, mate?
Well, I'm sending it to you right now. So I've got a couple of places you can find me. You can find me on on Facebook. I have a professional page, Stephen B. Jepson. B is in Baker. That's my professional page for singing and all of that. You can find me on YouTube, and that is under Cubby Hawk, CUBBYHAWK. Those are videos. But the one that I'd like everybody to look for is find me on SoundCloud. SoundCloud's a great sharing site for music, and a lot of indie artists, a lot of folk artists, a lot of professional singers. We'll try stuff out on SoundCloud, and I've got some really nice recordings of mostly classical music, but there is some Great American Songbook standard stuff, and I believe there's some musicals pieces on there as well. But just look under Stephen B. Jepson, and if you like what you hear, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you don't like what you hear, fuck off. All right? Don't.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
It's not your opinion, but you're not entitled to tell Steve that you don't like it. Don't tell him that.
They tell me everything. Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I had your back, brother, until you're undermining me here. All right. So last thing then, Tate, this was actually your idea, although you didn't know it. It's hard to get back to photography if you're not outside very much, mate. But the truth is that I think this is an opportunity, this situation. And so what I've been working on is doing 200 push-ups a day, walking at least 5 miles a day outside because I got a really bad knee, and trying to get my weight into a place. I'm not doing too bad, but I just want to get really, really to a good place, right? So I realized that this was a chance to do things that we didn't normally do. Something that we've never done before. If we're indoors a bunch, why not, right? Like, why sit around and watch TV all day? Why not do something else? So, has any of you got one of those? Because I've got one. I got about 6 of them, frankly. I'm finishing music and all kinds of stuff. Joe, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that you got to finish some artwork or something, yes? You're on mute, by the way.
My audio's bad. My headphones died. Yeah, I'm 2 pages away from finishing a book called Blue and the Spotted Hicklebeast, and then I'm finishing the colors on another book called The Dragon Shepherd. So I'll definitely have one done in the next 2 weeks, and then the other one will probably take me a couple months to finish coloring pages. And I'm like you, Paul, I work on like 10 things at once. So I got a bunch of projects that once those 2 are done, I'll stagger in. But those are going to be my first 2. I will finish 2 this year, finally. Yes,
you will, because I'm going to make you finish 2. You know that. I give you shit all the time about that, so you're going to finish it. Tate, you got anything new that you're doing? Because I feel like you said you haven't done any photography for 2 years, and I'm like, why, man? If you do it and you're good at it, what are you going to do with this time?
Well, initially I took a break. I was like, I'm going to take a break from this. And then that turned into 2 years. But during the break, I decided I'm going to kind of focus on things that I haven't done in a while. Like I want to read some novels and I want to catch up on movies. And I just kind of reached a point where I felt like I didn't like where I'd gone with photography. And so I thought when the opportunity comes to do something else, I will. And that just hasn't really happened yet. So
do you think that this is an opportunity? Because I'm not really anyone's life coach. I find that a problem is an opportunity, because let's say you want to direct a project, right? You're going to have a bunch of problems, and when they show up, you better use those as an opportunity. Otherwise, you're going to fail as a director. And so, is this an opportunity to rethink?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really would rather just not shoot girls anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd be happier shooting, maybe just different type of content. even though the money in that industry died too.
Yeah.
So it was like, it got to be a struggle where it got to be, it's not worth going through all this hassle for all this, to be unhappy when I could just go work a job and make more money and make this a hobby. But once I made that decision, I just kind of stopped doing it, which sucks because I am really good at it.
Well,
And there's a lot of people disappointed.
You are, and I want you to get back.
What's
to it,
that?
Man. You got to find a way back. Go do it.
I just got to find a different subject matter, I think,
Yeah, I agree. But that's cool, right? I think you should think it through and set yourself that task, so that you can do it. Because I think this is our opportunity to do it. I'd love us to come out the other end of this thing 6 months from now, 3 months from now, whenever it is. And look, we're all like strong and buff. And we've got new talents. And some of us can speak French and, all that crazy stuff, right? David, you got one that you think you might try and do?
Yeah, I've been toying around with a lot of ideas that I just never do. I just kick them off, and I have an opportunity, I think, to do at least one short film, whatever you want to call it. Another really quick video, just that seemed fun, and just try to push myself into doing creative endeavors that are that don't involve something else, and just see what happens with it. I never thought I was good enough to do anything written wise. So figure out the things that I feel confident about and just put those out there.
All right. Steve, you got one thing that you don't do that you want to do?
Oh, I used to do a lot of writing. I used to do some fiction, and I'm thinking of getting back into that. It's the question of finding a muse, finding something, finding something that would be interesting, or picking up an old. I started a spy novel a while ago, and I put it down, thought it was really silly, and then I may bring it back up.
Well, the whole may and might, and I'm thinking of, right, I'll throw you a challenge, right, that as a professional writer and someone has to make stuff, I don't have any choice, that the actual trick to doing it is not, I think I might, or I wonder if I get the muse, right? I can't afford a muse. I don't have one. I have to go make it. Yeah. And so the idea is to write what we call the vomit draft, like make the big pile of crap, go write it and make it awful. Because it doesn't matter. Your work only begins once you've edited. You begin to edit once you've done the first draft.
Yeah.
If you don't get that thing down, it doesn't exist. It never will. You're finding ways not to do it. And I hate to be like giving you crap because I do it to Joe all the time, right? But it's go get it, man. Go do it, because if you really are serious about doing that, you'll actually do it. And it doesn't matter how bad it is on that first draft. What matters is what you do after that first draft. So I hope for your sake and everybody's that you get to write and go make it. Go do it.
Okay.
All right. I've been your professional life coach today. Thank you very much. I'll accept tips later on. But thanks very much for joining me, guys. It was really a pleasure to have all these people from different places, and stick with us. Come join, and all of those out there that are not currently subscribed to Meta Studios, please do, and come and join us in this chat every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
All right. Nice.